Hello everyone, welcome to Earth 101. This is an international collaboration between Visual Communication Design Department at Universitas Ciputra Surabaya with our partner from Birmingham City University and Tunku Abdul Rahman University of Management and Technology. My name is Michael. I'm going to be your host for the first session. I'm a faculty and also the director for Center for Creative Heritage Studies at Universitas Ciputra. Today we're going to talk about the heart and mind of SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, and how we should contribute. I would like to invite our speaker for today, Mr. Anton, a CEO from Kriya Global, Indonesia, and also International Advisory Board and Ambassador for the World Creativity and Innovation Week. Welcome, Pak Anton.
Hi, Mr. Michael.
Hi, thank you so much for having this discussion with me.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk about the heart and mind of SDGs and how design students should contribute. And before we begin, I think we should give a brief video, an introduction about what is Sustainable Development Goals in general, and then we can move forward with our discussion.
Yeah.
In September 2015, the member states of the UN adopted the 2030 Agenda and its 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Under this unified agenda, the international community combined the commitments to sustainable development that were made at the UN's Rio+20 conference with the process of renewing the Millennium Development Goals implemented between 2000 and 2015. What's new about the 2030 Agenda is its universal nature. Its 17 goals apply to all member states, not simply the poor countries and the populations of the South. The universal nature of the 2030 Agenda means that each of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals will be implemented differently in different countries. For example, while certain countries continue to struggle with hunger, others should be more concerned with promoting a healthy diet and combating obesity. While Switzerland throws away a third of its food, other countries lose a significant proportion of their harvests because of inadequate storage. And while certain populations are concerned about access to energy, many others consume enormous amounts and need to find a solution to reduce this consumption and its impact on the environment.
Did you know that the UN Sustainable Development Goals are a universal call to action that unites 193 countries around the world? If these global goals are fulfilled by 2030, life on Earth will be better for everyone. So, what are these goals? Eliminate poverty in all its forms. No hunger. Everyone should have safe, nutritious, and sufficient food. Everyone has equal access to healthcare, thus ensuring our well-being and a healthy life. Equal access to a quality education. Ensure gender equality where women and girls have the same opportunities as men and boys. By achieving these goals, each member of our society will be equal, safe, and happy. UN global goals also include access to safe drinking water and sanitation, access to clean energy that is safe for people and the environment, sustainable and stable economic growth. Everyone has a decent job, strong infrastructure, and the support of innovations. Lower inequality within and among countries. Cities and settlements be developed without damaging the environment and people. Achieving these goals will result in the well-being of people and our planet. We can further take care of our environment with the following goals: sustainable and safe production and consumption of products. Take urgent measures to reduce climate change and its impact. Ensure the sustainable use and protection of ocean and sea resources. Restore and protect Earth's ecosystems. By achieving these goals, we will form a society where strong institutions ensure peace and justice. It is important for everyone to be involved and to build partnerships for achieving sustainable development goals. You are part of this process. Demand the implementation of these goals. Take the lead and share information with your friends.
Hello,
I'm Emma Watson. We have an urgent mission to complete by 2030, and I really need your help. We need to fight global inequality, end extreme poverty, and respect our planet. Watch this film to find out how you can use your creativity and power to help us achieve these goals. Thank you.
Hello? Hello? Are you there? I was just saying that we have to use our creative superpowers to achieve the United Nations global goals. How? Although the Earth is just a tiny speck in space, it seems enormous to us when we're on it. The global goals can seem huge too. But if you focus on fixing the things where you live, you can make a big difference. There are 3 ways you can help. You can invent, innovate, and campaign. So buckle up and let's take a lightning flight around the world to see what young people are doing already. First stop is Istanbul in Turkey, where we meet Elif. She's an inventor. Like many big cities, there's a lot of pollution in Istanbul. Some caused by petroleum-based plastics. Elif wasn't happy about that and wondered what she could do. So she invented a new natural plastic made from banana skins. No, seriously. It's cheap, easy to recycle, and you can make it in your own kitchen. And if you like banana desserts, you can't really lose. Unless you eat too much. So, let's talk about toilets. This is Rohit. He lives in Bangalore in India. The population there is growing very quickly, and so is all the, well, waste. A regular toilet uses 6 litres of water each time it's flushed. This is too much where water's scarce. So Rohit invented a toilet that saves 50% of that water. He called it the vacuum flush. His invention won an international science prize, and now he's flushed with his own success. As it were. You can be an innovator, be creative, and think about how to improve the way we live. Take urban creators in North Philadelphia. This amazing group of teenagers reclaimed derelict land in a dangerous, run-down neighbourhood. They built a thriving farm where they grow fresh food and now supply hundreds of local homes and restaurants. Life Do Grow Farm has transformed the community and made it healthier and safer for everyone. Now, let's go to Nigeria, which has one of the fastest growing populations in the world. This is Team Charis, a group of brilliant girls who are solving a big problem. Team Charis realised that in parts of Nigeria, lots of people get sick because rubbish isn't cleaned up properly. So they created Discardius, a phone app to report waste and have it taken away safely by eco-friendly cars. See? Sometimes a healthier world is just one great idea away. You could be a campaigner. Malati and Isabel are sisters from Bali. They've been on a mission to stop plastic bags from harming their beautiful island home. Millions of plastic bags end up in the ocean. They pollute the water and harm marine life. Malati and Isabel decided enough was enough. They organised petitions and beach clean-ups, and now their efforts have convinced their governor to ban plastic bags in Bali by 2018. Finally, let's go to Jordan. This is Mazoon from Syria. She used to live in a refugee camp. Many girls in the camp had to marry so young that they had to give up their education. Mazoon thought this was a big mistake, and she waged a campaign to convince parents to keep their daughters in school and not make them marry too young. All girls have a right to a great education. And just look at what one educated girl can achieve with enough determination. Young inventors, innovators and campaigners everywhere are changing the world for good. And so can you. You just need to care, get creative and collaborate. If we all do that, by 2030 we can really make the global goals a reality. I'm just saying.
Hi folks, Alex here. To be totally honest, the problem with these 17 goals is that, well, there are 17 of them, which can make them look complicated and not easy to remember. But the good thing about them is that they are the result of many public consultations and they provide a shared language for all countries to report on. They also cover a lot of important things and they can tell us if we are becoming sustainable. Or do they? First, let's look at how they are interconnected instead of looking at them individually. The Stockholm Resilience Center suggested organizing the SDGs into 3 layers. The environment as the foundation, supporting society, which supports the economy. This is like the triple bottom line, or the 3 pillars of sustainability. Essentially, sustainability is about meeting human needs within ecological constraints, and the economy is a strategy to make money while achieving sustainability. There are 4 goals about the environment: clean water, climate action, life on land, and life below water. 8 goals are about society: no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, affordable and clean energy, sustainable cities and communities, and peace, justice, and strong institutions. And these 4 goals are about the economy: decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, responsible consumption and production. They call this representation the SDG wedding cake. In other words, we can't achieve decent economic growth or even food security without first taking care of our oceans, as was demonstrated in Newfoundland during the collapse of the Atlantic cod fisheries in the 1990s. And, to use the more recent example of the coronavirus crisis, we can't have everybody in good health and achieve no poverty without taking care first of our land, forests, and our greenhouse gas emissions. We can look at the performance of each country by indicator on this website. It looks like this for the United States, for instance. If a country is doing well on the SDGs, does that mean that they are more sustainable? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
That was the introduction for Sustainable Development Goals. It is now important for us to discuss why we need to contribute to Sustainable Development Goals. So now, let's have a discussion with Mr. Anton on that question.
All right.
Why should we contribute to Sustainable Development Goals?
Yeah, I think when we talk about the Sustainable Development Goals, it's not actually about the issue or the global issue. What I mean here is more about us, ourselves first, in relation with the nature, and also the relation between us as a human.
Human interaction between
human interaction. So what Sustainable Goals talking about is actually, for me, the essence of the Sustainable Development Goals is about the relation us as a human interaction and also human nature interaction.
Awesome. I could not agree more with what you were saying, that it's about us as human beings. It's about human existence.
Yeah.
We are living in a very perilous time, and we cannot close our eyes and deny what's happening with our climate, what's happening with human culture, human interaction, and we need to take part and to address issues, what is really happening on Earth right now.
Yeah, I think I do agree, Mr. Michael.
Yes.
Like what you are saying, let's see around us. Let's see what happened around us. Let's see what happened with the countries. Like right now there's a global issue with the war, like people fight each other, and then as you mentioned also about the condition in the earth now, our environment, and so on. So I think it's one of the things can be a concern of to understand about the Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah, and I want to know more about your work, at the Creativity and Innovation Week, Global Creativity and Innovation Week. Can you tell us more about your work and how it relates to Sustainable Development Goals?
Okay, so we are in the World Creativity and Innovation Week and Day. We actually connected with the other people around the world, and we are talking about creativity and innovation. So since World Creativity and Innovation Week and Day was initiated in the United Nations before, And then, as we know that Sustainable Development Goals is get many concern from the other countries in the United Nations. So that's a connection. Why World Creativity and Innovation Week and Day organization have a concern on the Sustainable Development Goals. In other case, creativity and innovation, I think, is one of the important things right now that we are concerned on. As you know, like, we are in the middle of problems, in the global problems, and then how ourselves as a human, where we stay, and then how we can contribute to people around us.
Yeah, and now we have a collaboration, international collaboration with Birmingham University, Tunku Abdul Rahman University, and also Ciputra University.
Yeah.
We are gathering creative people from various disciplines of knowledge, various programs in the creative industry. And what better ways to remind those future designers that, hey, it is our responsibility now as designers, as future designers and creative human beings, not only designers but creative human beings, in addressing Sustainable Development Goals. So the heart and mind of Sustainable Development Goals, why we choose that topic? We choose that topic because we need to get our heart straight. We need to be committed to Sustainable Development Goals, not just our mind, but our heart. We need to do it full-heartedly. It is very important that we take things seriously and we live and we change the way that we live in a way that we can contribute to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, what your professions are, but there is always something that we can do as human beings, and it requires our heart and our mind, our creative mind, to see problems that are around us and to find creative solutions. It might not be something that is profitable or big project, but we can be a role model for other people. So this is the project of Earth 101, and we're going to talk about our hearts and mind and the fundamentals of Sustainable Development Goals. I think the basic issue is on ethics, because when we talk about sustainability, ethics is the core foundation. We need to think about what is right, what is wrong. It's not about making a lot of money. It's not about focusing on one's happiness, but how to live life to the fullest, how to live life virtuous, and in a way that we can contribute to living sustainably. Do you have any comments or ideas or examples on how we should start contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals, Mr. Anton?
Okay, so yeah, I think I do agree, like what you mentioned just now. It's more like what we can do from the small thing from ourselves first.
Yeah.
So let's start from ourselves. I can, because I'm doing in education, more to education and also professional and industry. So I can share like one of our keynote speakers of the International Kids Conference last year in 2021. We had Stacy Fru before from Africa. So these kids, just 12 years old last year, and then she has a lot of initiative for children protection in Africa. So what did she do is like, how she created a community for the children across Africa.
It is
as suitable learning material for early childhood development through to primary school. It won its first award for the best.
It was holidays, so Bob was waiting for Greg to come to his house so that they could play. And when Greg arrived, they played tag.
And influences from outside. We also have the African Children of the Year Awards, which is an award ceremony.
Represents who I am as Stacey Through. This is just an example of how we should not let failure bring us down to below. Dreams, then yesterday and tomorrow. Thank you.
Africa.
It is amazing to see
Yeah.
teenagers.
Yeah.
They're leading the way of changes.
Yeah.
They're leading the changes that is in their communities.
Correct. So
Tell me more about that.
yeah. So we met Stacy through last year during pandemics. I mean, like during pandemics, you know, we just stay at home, and then we cannot go anywhere.
Yeah, we're on lockdown.
Yeah, but you know, there must be a positive things that we can get. So that condition made us connected with Stacy Fru. So Stacy Fru is doing more about protecting children in Africa. So she did like gathering the project of the kids across Africa, and then she tried to accommodate what they want in terms of publication, for example, and appreciation. So Stacy Fru with her foundation also give like more appreciation for the kids of what they have done. So when we talk about the kids or teenagers, we refer to the United Nations that we call it children is until 17 years old. But can you imagine, like myself, I reflect to myself, what did I do or what I have done when I was there?
Yeah.
Correct? So it makes me, you know, think a lot with that. So that's why now we connect with quite many people in Africa right now, and we try to support Stacy Fru also by inviting kids to showcase their works. So, you know, people around the world can see this as well.
Okay, that's awesome. That's totally awesome.
Yeah.
Seeing how one kid not just dreaming about change, but doing real things that causes the changes to happen. And if we look to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, where did or what did what is Stacy Fru topic is in those 17 Sustainable Development Goals?
Okay, when we talk about this, I think it must be Sustainable Development Goals number 4 about education.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be. It's also can be related to the other Sustainable Development Goals number as well, since on the video before we watched that it's actually correct. Yeah. So it's actually can be connected each other. So I can say also like no poverty also can connect to what she's doing because she tried to bring the kids also out from there by doing campaign.
So she's raising awareness.
She raising awareness as well for this. So and she accommodated the kids also in doing whatever they love to do.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And I mean, kids are creative.
Yeah.
We have to be honest that kids are creative.
Yeah.
They have novel ideas that most adults don't ever think about it. And they have a sincere idealism to really create positive things in this world. So I think we should learn from kids. We are creative people, but unfortunately, when we talk about ethics in design, we are so focused on capitalism.
Okay.
It is the drive of what we call growth. It is the drive for globalization. And we cannot deny that what is happening right now are caused by globalization, caused by capitalism. What do you think about that?
Okay, I think maybe this is not too synchron to what you mentioned, but when we talk about the consumerism, right, capitalism is actually talking about this as well. And
capitalism promotes
consumerism
lifestyle.
Yes, correct. But there is a counterpart of this movement or these things. If you're aware with the makers, what we call it is a makers movement. Yeah, if you're aware with that, it's actually coming separately from DIY community, do it yourself.
It's a grassroots movement from DIY community.
Yes, correct. So makers movement is actually talking about, hey, you can do yourself. You can solve the problem yourself, actually.
You can create things for yourself.
Yes, correct. So let's say, like, for example, when we talk about fashion, when you need a clothes, all right, it's no matter what, you still can do by recycling your old clothes to be something more good. So that's one of the things that makers doing.
I totally agree. I remember an example of upcycling fashion trend. I think it's in the UK, when we can donate our used clothes, and then we can also, when we donate, we can also take some clothes, but we are encouraged to DIY, create our own unique clothes. Like I can use the sleeves from this shirt, I can use the pocket from this jacket and everything else. So that's a creativity movement too.
Correct.
We have the desire to be unique, but we should realign our creativity to create something unique for ourselves in a way that is sustainable, not just buying mass-produced clothing or mass-produced items to make us feel different. So that's one part of heart, changes in the way that we understand ourselves.
Correct.
I think that is also really important to realize. Then after we realize that from the heart, we can begin to change our habits, behavior, and our consumption behavior.
So we are talking about SDG also right now. So we are talking about the SDG number 11, sustainable consumption.
Cities and communities.
Sorry, it's number 12, I think.
12,
responsible consumption.
Consumption and production.
Yes, correct. So I think it's part of the effect of the consumerism and capitalism as well. All right. When we talk about, again, we try to use this example, and I think designer has a big roles on this part. All right.
I am reminded of Victor Papanek, a designer and a design critic, an educator. He wrote designing for social growth. Sorry, I forgot, but I remember the first sentence he wrote at the preface of the book, and he said, there are only a few professions that are more harmful than industrial designers. A few professions that are more harmful or as harmful as industrial designers. We have to realize that everything that we see around us, that things that we wear, things that we use in our everyday lives
Mhm.
are all designed,
Yeah.
but they are designed in a way that they don't see things holistically.
Yeah.
They only design a product
Mhm.
to be liked by consumers,
Yeah.
and that once the consumers buy and use the product, they
Yeah.
don't think about the after what is after that.
Yeah.
What happens when this chair breaks down?
Yeah.
How should we recycle that?
Correct. So that also makes me remind about circular product development.
Yeah. True.
I think we don't need to talk it more about it in detail, but I think later our students can find
Explore.
it. Yeah, explore more about it.
Yeah.
But again, it's more talking about the SDG and then how it's integrated each other. Like when we talk about the fashion, but in a way we're talking about the Sustainable Development Goals number 12. We talk about the life in Earth,
Yeah.
and also, when we talk about the fashion, we also can talk about the climate action, right? So these kind of things will be very interesting to be explored.
Yeah, and we are so late to think about all of this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Victor Papanek was writing the book and published the book in 1969, 1971,
Mm-hmm.
and the SDGs target is in 2030.
Yeah.
We are now in 2022,
Yeah.
at the end of 2022, and many people are saying that we will not achieve that
Mhm.
deadline of
Yeah.
2030. So for all of you, our beloved design students, you are the future. You are our hope. You can say that you are our last hope for humanity. Humanity's last hope.
Mhm.
Sorry, because we need to change the way that we design things. We need to change the way that we live. We need to change the way we consume things. We need to change the way we think and the way we interact with each other. We don't have a lot of time to do all of this.
Mhm.
And that's why it's really important for us to get to know SDGs and to contribute in every way that is possible. At the beginning of our talk, we talk about human interaction.
Yeah.
And this is a platform, an international collaboration between Indonesia, Malaysia, and UK. And I believe there is something important that we need to discuss. That is the concept of cosmopolitanism, that we are all citizens of this world. We need to think of who we are as part of the global world.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just I'm an Indonesian designer or a UK designer or a Malaysian designer, and we need to think across borders. We need to break from our limited identity, tribal or national even identity. We need to think of ourselves as human being of the world, citizens of the world.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that, and how it relates to your role at your work at the Global Creativity and Innovation Week and Day?
Okay. All right. I think it's reflect to myself. I am travelers. It's like, it's like every week I move from the other city, from city to city, from country to country. So I would like to share about my life around this past 6 months, right?
Awesome.
My life is like flying to Singapore, staying there, flying to Malaysia, Thailand, Korea, Philippines, Indonesia, and so on. So it's like what you mentioned. I just feel like I'm not really Indonesian. I think it's my former identity, but in my perception, I'm part of the global citizen.
Yeah.
Right. So that makes me, to be honest, it's more like it teach me how to appreciate people with their culture.
Yeah.
Like what they have done in their local country, or we call it like local wisdom. I'd love to learn about it.
Yeah.
I love to go and explore wet market. This is my perspective. It's like I can see how the people interact each other locally in the wet market. That's how I can see how's people's going.
Yeah.
Right. So when we talk about the global citizen, I think it can be one of the example from my story. But again, I think digital transformation will give us another idea, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have metaverse.
Yeah, we become digital citizen also.
Correct.
Right now.
So, but I think I don't know, maybe we can discuss further later, talking more deeper in the academic discussion. But I think it will give us another idea.
Yeah, that's awesome. I also consider myself as a citizens of the world.
Yeah.
I studied in Malaysia after I graduated high school, and then I moved to Jakarta to finish my undergrads, and then I studied in the US for entrepreneurship education. I also studied in the UK to study my master's, and I'm going back to UK after this for my doctoral degree, and but I'm taking with me in the Center for Creative Heritage Studies.
Yeah.
I'm addressing issues on cultural identity, Indonesian cultural heritage, and I believe that we need to raise awareness for the younger generation that talking about their identity and their culture is not limited to seeing things from the past as they were and how to preserve them. But I really love what Professor Rodney Harrison from UCL, University College London, said in his book Critical Heritage. He said that heritage is co-produced or co-created in the present based on past values for the future. Let me say it again. Heritage is co-created together between all of us in this moment based on our past values, our local wisdom, and we use it to create a better future. That is something that's really important for all of us right now in terms of creating a better and sustainable world for the future. That way, we can respect people from different ethnicity, different religions, different backgrounds, different economic status, social status. It doesn't really matter anymore because we are all in this world as citizens of the world, and we have a duty, we have a responsibility to create a better future as our heritage. So this project, I hope this is not just an academic project for you to get good grades, but I hope this will be something that will become your future heritage for the world. So let's talk about Sustainable Development Goals number 4, quality education. You are working in a global world creativity and innovation day and week. And I'm a design faculty. I've also teach about creativity and critical thinking. And when we look at the future skills from World Economic Forums, creativity and critical thinking creative thinking and critical thinking and creative problem solving, those are very important. But unfortunately, I have to say this, I cannot agree more with Sir Ken Robinson, who said creativity, schools have killed our students' creativity. So now your work is on developing creativity. Can you tell us more about that?
Okay, so I think the point now is not the school itself, but how we deliver this to the students, I think.
Agree.
All right, so it's no matter what, I can say right now, at this moment, schools not the only institution where
we can learn.
Correct.
Especially about creativity.
Correct, yeah. But as our concern right now is like how we can use our life or our life experience as part of the learning process.
A lifelong learning.
Yes, correct. So that's actually the idea, and then this is also the reason how we can connect with the Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah, do tell more about that.
So what I mean here is more about, again, back to my previous statement, let's start from what happened around us, build our empathy, and then try to solve the problem. But again, solving the problem is not only like you choose the things. We call it solution by design.
Oh, okay.
Right? So when we are here as a designer, in my perception, I can say I'm not a professional designer, but I love to say that I am, as my working job is more making the learning experience design.
Oh, okay.
So I always call me as a learning experience designer.
I can relate to that, yeah.
You understand what I mean,
Yes.
right? So for me, design is not only sketching, not only drawing object, but also you can plan, you can set up, you can do the prototype and so on. So experience also can be built. So if we see like a lot of people who develop maker first, meta first, that's what I mean. There are also people there to create the experience. So my job is more like to design how this learning process to be more meaningful to the students.
Okay. And I believe you are very familiar with design thinking, right?
Yeah.
But I have to say this one critic towards design thinking, and I want to know what your opinion on this. I think the way that we teach design thinking to design students, when we focus that, hey, you have to develop your empathy.
Yeah.
You have to develop your empathy to know what the market needs and what the market wants.
Yeah.
I believe that is wrong. Empathy is more than just that.
Yeah.
And we use the word empathy just to know what the customer wants and what they need to sell them products that they will use and then eventually dispose of. I mean, empathy is supposed to be more than that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I do agree with what you mentioned. So that's why we normally don't say straight that we use design thinking in our program. But in our case, we try to simplify it to be 3 in our cycle. So we come from the inspiring, and then when you get inspired, and then you can create something. So this case, we call it creating. But again, this one also can be connected with the Bloom taxonomy. All right? And also in the design thinking also there is a creation process when we do prototyping, for example. But again, the question is, when you have created, let's say the solution or any creation, the question mark is to whom you are doing. So that's why we add one more step, is dedicating.
Dedicating.
Yeah. So what we are doing in our organization, in Korea especially, we believe in the 3 part of the cycle.
The creative cycle.
The creative cycle. In our belief, I believe also that a lot of designers have their own belief.
Formula.
Yeah, formula. So that's how we create it. So again, inspiring, creating, and dedicating.
I really like what you said about the 3rd part,
Yeah.
dedicating.
Yeah.
I believe it resonates well with Victor Papanek, as I mentioned before. We designers
Yeah.
need to think about what are the impact, what are the consequences of our design. When we design something, how will it affect people's behavior?
Yeah.
How will it affect the professional world? How will it affect communities? I think we need to slow down sometimes and to really think thoroughly about our creative process.
Yeah.
Who are we dedicating our design for?
Yeah.
We need to really be aware of our creation.
Yeah.
Be responsible
Yeah.
for what we created. So yeah, that's really good point for us to remember when we think about SDGs. Sustainability can only come after we take responsibility of our actions and our professions and the things that we create in our everyday life. So that's a good point. That's a very good point. Dedicating. Thank you so much for sharing that.
So I think just to add a bit, like when we talk about empathy, for us, empathy is not just a word; it's an experience. Okay, so like for example, before actually, makes this empathy sometimes is many people misunderstanding about this, because for us it's like they don't use empathy as part of the experience to get them inspired. Empathy is actually talking about how we can put ourselves in the other people's part. So when we talk about the business or like talking about the entrepreneurship, for example, we always relate that empathy always relate to customers.
Yeah.
So again, previously I mentioned to you that I love to go to the wet market. That's how I train my empathy.
Yeah.
To get inspired.
To get to know different kind of people and interact with them, right?
Yes, correct.
And I think this project can be a good way to train empathy.
Yeah.
I wonder and I hope through this project that students from Indonesia, from the UK and the Malaysia can get to know each other.
Yeah.
And to build their sense of empathy, to learn from each other, to get to know one another, and to share ideas, to share problems and creative solutions. I think that's a good message to also for our students. In the first session, in Hearts and Minds of SDG, we want to touch your heart. We want to wake you up. We want you to think differently. We want you to see things differently, and also to get to know each other and to know what are the problems that we are all facing in different continents, in different places, in different nations and different place and time, and that we can share maybe our creative idea. So please use this opportunity to make something really, really meaningful for you and for the future, for the world. Do you have anything else to say to end this session?
All right. So from me, because we are talking about the heart and mind of the SDG itself, so what I can say that please don't just understand SDG literally.
Oh yeah, not to memorize them.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, if you just want to learn about SDG, you can go to the website, You find the target, you can see a lot of target there.
Yeah. 100 something.
Yeah,
plus targets.
correct. So it's a lot of things there. But what I can say that start from yourself, start from what happened in your local, and then think about, okay, don't think, okay, which number that I will concern on. No, don't do that.
Agree. I totally agree with you.
Yeah. So start first from what happened around you. You start to build your empathy, bring the experience itself,
and share with other people, right?
and share to the other people. So then later you will get, like, for example, I hope through this collaboration, which is very good, I would like to appreciate Ciputra University,
who
initiated this project as well, and also together with the Tunku Abdul Rahman University, and also Birmingham City University. It's a good start to bring people, I mean here is students, to share a lot what happened. So now it's more about like, okay, in the UK it's better than Indonesia, or like in Malaysia it's better than Indonesia, and so on. But how this idea can be exchanged to create an innovation.
Yeah, a meaningful innovation.
A meaningful innovation.
Not just profitable.
Correct. And my last statement is, once you have your solution, bring it to your dedication.
Yeah, commit to it, commit it to the world, and share it with the world, right?
Correct.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pak Anton, for sharing with us. And
thank you.
Thank you all for listening. And we hope that this session is meaningful for you, and it's a good start for this project. Okay, everybody. Now we have Pak Prigi, Mr. Prigi, with us on Zoom, because he is really in the middle of nowhere in Indonesia. Pak Prigi, hello,
Michael,
apa kabar?
I'm
How are
fine.
you?
I'm in the middle of the syllabus of Sulawesi, central of Sulawesi. I'm on a bike tour, visit 68 river, national river in Indonesia. So since March 25, using my motorcycle with my friend, we detect river health in Indonesia, start from Java, and then we go to the Sumatra, and then Kalimantan, and then this month we jumping to Parepare, Parepare Port, and then to Makassar, and then to Tanah Toraja last week, and then yesterday we went to Poso, Lake Poso, a lake in Sulawesi.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pak Prigi.
we did it. Yeah. Yeah, Pak Michael.
Hold on. Can you tell us a bit about who you are and your work in the past few years, and your dedication in river?
I just fall in love with river because in Indonesia we have more than 4,000 river, and then 97% our river is polluted, but unfortunately
97.
Yeah, 97. And then we using our river as a water source, drinking water source. Yeah, is in Indonesia we use more than 86% our drinking water sources came from the river. So
Polluted
I think
rivers.
I think it's bad situation when we always polluted our river. Then another side we using the water as our drinking water source. So why the last 2 years I dealing with the plastic, because Indonesia is second largest country that contribute on the
Plastic waste.
polluter, plastic waste polluter in the ocean. So we want to stop it. So I jump to the visit more than 68 river, because we want to
Educate.
not educate, want to share our experience that before I have this tour, I have already have a research in Java River. 80% our fish is contamination with microplastic.
80% of all fishes.
Fish in Java River is polluted, and then all river in Java is polluted, is because bad management of river by government. So we want to know more about how about another river in other island. So we don't want to the same situation came to the Sumatra, Kalimantan because mismanagement of river. So we want to share our experience in Java, not you treat river as a dump site. So stop using single-use plastic because a government is only manage can manage is 40% our waste, and then the 60% is dumping in the river, burning. So it's become a new problem for us. So we want to ask community people in Sumatra and Kalimantan in Sulawesi to stop using single-use plastic, and then we campaign that we need more community to save the river, monitoring the river, and then become a river warrior. Yeah. So we want to create more and more river defender, river warrior. Yeah, in each island that we visit.
Wow, that's very scary. That's a nightmare. The data that you shared about how many rivers are polluted and how Indonesian manages waste and uses river for daily use. So so after all of your experiences and all of your researches so far, what is the main message that you can say to people in the UK? We have Birmingham City University here with us. We also have Tunku Abdul Rahman University of Management and Technology, and we also have Ciputra design students.
Another sad news is developed country is send their plastic waste to developing country. Malaysia, India, Indonesia, Vietnam is become dump site plastic waste from UK, from Netherlands, from Canada, from US. You know. So
that's
I think
sad.
in developing country we have already have our own problem with our waste management. So don't add more with your waste from developed country. Last year we sent a letter to the Prime Minister UK, Prime Minister in Netherlands, President of USA to ask them to not send and smuggling the plastic waste to developing country because I think in Indonesia we didn't have a good technology to recycling the waste, and then we know that developed country know that recycling is difficult because recycling is a dirty, is polluted. So we ask people around the world to not using, stop using single-use plastic bag, straw, styrofoam, water bottle, and so we must stop using single-use plastic because it's difficult to recycle. And only 9% all plastic that we produce since 1950 is recycling. Only 9%.
Wow. Yeah. Only 9%.
The other is floating in the air, in the water, in the river. So I think it's not a sustainable development. It's a sustainable pollution if we always using a single-use plastic.
Yes. So one good news is that Surabaya has committed itself to stop the use of single-use plastic, kresek plastic bag, and I think it's getting along quite well, even though that spoon bound is also difficult to recycle as a replacement for plastic bag. But there are a lot of things that we need to do in such a short amount of time to save the earth right now. And is there anything else that you can share with us?
I have a good news that in Indonesia we have a 75 a province, a city that have a regulation to stop using, reduce using single-use plastic. Surabaya, Jakarta. So I share this information to the other city in other island, in Kalimantan, in
Oh,
Sulawesi.
that's good. That's great.
Yeah, and then microplastic is as a bridge that people don't throw it your plastic bag, plastic waste to the river. It's because difficult if the plastic is become fragmented, become a small part. It's called
Yeah.
microplastic. It's difficult. It's wide. It's going to everywhere. Even UN say that on 2050, the number of the plastic is more than fish in the ocean. So we must stop using single-use plastic. And then another information is in the Guardian last March published information that in our blood is contaminated with the microplastic. And then yesterday we have ASI, air susu ibu is contaminated with microplastic. And then 3 years ago, our organization Ecotone have a research that we have take 100 sample of feces of human poop, and then we know that 100% people, our sample in Java is 100 sample is contaminated with microplastic. It means microplastic is everywhere, in the air, in the fish, in the water. So
in what we eat, what we drink.
Yeah, everything we throw it to the river will be coming back to our dinner table. So I think for developing country is a big homework to our leader. I think it's the next election we must elect our representative, our leader, that they can speak well and have good commitment to reduce using single-use plastic, and then commitment to save our river from plastic pollution.
Committed to the Sustainable Development Goals in general, is it right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Pak Prigi, Mr. Prigi.
Yeah,
and
Pak
thank you
Michael.
so much. We appreciate all the work that you have done to promote clean water and rivers. And stay
then
safe.
Maybe one message that we must.
Yes, sure.
We must produce more information about the pollution, because people didn't have a good access for information about the impact of health impact of plastic. So we must produce narration, we must produce information about the impact of the plastic and then the pollution in the water. Not only writing in the journal. Journal is like
agreed.
It's like elitist. So you must produce, you must publish your research on the popular language in newspaper, is online. So more people, common people can understand the real situation, the recent situation, health impact of the microplastic and the plastic waste.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pak Michael.
Thank you. Wait. Thank you for mentioning that last point, because that is really something that our student in this project can address.
Yeah.
So for those of you, I'm talking to the students right now, please pay attention to what Mr. Prigi has just mentioned, that we need to educate people on the danger of microplastic. We need to raise awareness. We need to get the data out. We need to change people's behavior. So, Pak Prigi, can you share with us some of your research, your data, and we will share it with the participants, with the students.
Yeah, of course. Ecotone have a journal. We have a journal that we always produce. We publish 3 times per year. So it's a scientific journal. So you can mention, you can.
We will refer to that journal.
Yeah.
To that journal. Okay. We will share it with the students.
You.
Yeah. We will share it with the students from Birmingham, from Tunku Abdul Rahman, and from Ciputra, so that we can raise awareness on this issue. Thank you so much.
And one more. Last 2 years we produced a movie. I become a actor on the Plastic Island. So you can see in the Netflix the Plastic Island. That is a movie that I joined in that movie to promote the impact of microplastic. And then we produce 20 20 serial of documentary movie on the Watchdog image, yeah, Watchdog image.
Watchdog
So you
image, yeah.
Watchdog image, yeah. We collaboration with
Wait.
we
Your
collab,
voice,
yeah.
yeah.
We collaborate with the Watchdog and we produce 20 documentary movie. It's about the plastic, about the river in Java. So you can see, and we have a subtitle on English. So I think that's what I do is like translate the journal, the research, the scientific research to the popular culture
Movie, yeah.
as a movie, documentary movie, and then yeah. So we using social media as a bridge, as a media to sharing our scientific research to the people, and then we develop a citizen science. We want to down to earth. We take down all the science to the grassroots people,
To
so
the
people can
grassroots.
involve, can monitoring the. I will share my guidebook of the citizen science to you, Pak Michael, so you can share, so we can involve people, student, mothers to monitoring their river. Yeah.
That is awesome work. Thank you so much, Pak Prigi, for your time, for your dedication, for your work. We wish you all the best. Stay safe wherever you are,
Yeah.
and we will get back to you again in the future. Thank you so
Okay,
much,
Pak
Mr.
Michael.
Pak Prigi.
Thank you.
See you again.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.